All right, we're going to do a garden video starting. Hey, we're doing a video with Sadie and the catio. Attack a stick. Sweet. So, yeah, so the cucumbers, there are some cucumbers. There's some cucumber, you can't see them. Aye. Yeah, so there's some cucumbers here. And they're starting to come in. I'm still battling those cucumber beetles. So that's fun. Oh, and here's a deceased bee. And I could really do I could do the leaf's in the way. I could do a dead bee compilation. So when bees know that they're gonna pass, and I think this is like of natural causes. I don't think this is like if a bee gets poisoned, but I don't know. I should probably look at that energetically and see. But when a bee's gonna pass, they just spend their final evening on a flower in the garden because they don't want to, disturb their hive mates. And it's just such a kind of lovely, sweet thought that they want to spend their last moments on a flower. So these are cone flowers, and they're really interesting. I've never grown one before, and I'm just excited to see like what ends up happening. But they're really pretty. They're like this cool like burgundy color. And yeah, so we have a thing out of focus. So we have some cucumber. Oh, and there's cucumbers, and there's also, here's a cucumber with a stupid ass cucumber beetle. But there's beans. Look, you throw beans in the ground and you get beans. So that's fun. And the milkweed never did grow a flower. The cosmos is starting to bloom. Got the sunflowers and the morning glories. They're kind of trailing up the catio. Yeah, but I was like, holy cow, there's beans. Yeah, I don't even remember what kind of beans they are. So I have to pick them and dry them and see what's going on. And see what's up. I think I remember planting some red beans. I was like, let's just see what happens. But I need to take better notes. Yeah, so the Cabbage Patch just ended up being like, a patch of weirdness, but that's all right. People are eating it, and that's all that matters. So we got some peppers. What kind of pepper is this? I do not remember. Oh, bird's eye. Oops, bird's eye's out of focus. Not bird's eye. There we go. Bird's eye. They look like they're going to be hot. And then this is a firecracker pepper. Also looks hot. These are just jalapenos. And a bee. Hello. I'm wondering with these purple ones, so people that know more about hybrids and, I don't know, botany and gardening than me, people that have more education about this than I do, what do you think if I just made my own hybrid, like accidentally? A squash, some brassicas, because the seeds that I had labeled, purple, like the purple hot peppers that were really, really nice and hot, I'm wondering if like, maybe because I was growing different types of seeds, if perhaps something pollinated them differently, and now I have this weird like green pepper, hot pepper hybrid. I don't know if that's how that works, but they're very strange. I've never seen them before. These squash bugs have just annihilated this one. Here's a squash bug here. That one's white. They usually get gray as they get bigger. It's a certain kind of being that will just destroy their home to the point of it being inhospitable. Don't suppose that reminds you of any beings that you know on Earth. But yeah, I figure I'll let them just do what they gotta do and then pull that out and put some potato starts in there. Yeah, so perhaps I created a hybrid, bell pepper, purple hot pepper, thing that's just not really great. It's edible, but it's just not like the hot pepper that it was, which I thought was better. So who knows? Okay, so this is a bee bath. Someone asked me about bee baths. A bee bath is anything that, hello? Oh, excuse me. Excuse me as I pan to the cat. Look how deep those weeds are. Oh my God, that bindweed is like as tall as her, like in that spot. Ay, Dios mío. Yeah. Hi. So a bee bath is anything that a bee can get a drink in and not drown. So I have a bunch of, you end up with like weird saucers that don't fit anybody. And yeah, so all the pretty rocks that you collect over time go in a bee bath. She's like, pretty rocks? You don't need pretty rocks. You got me. Yeah. And then that becomes a bee bath. And then different insects can drink and not drown. Shishitos, once again, there's like a whole ton. I gotta be careful walking on this stuff. I'm gonna get tangled up and swallowed. You'll never hear from me again. I have one, oh my goodness, what is this? Not a honeydew, a cantaloupe. I have one cantaloupe, which is kind of exciting. We have that yellow squash. I think it's called straight neck. Remember that big wind I talked about before? That was the only thing that got broken, was the sunflower that's against the fence. So that's kind of curious. That's curious. The tomatoes are still kind of, not super happy. Not super happy. I gave them some extra food, been watering them, and those are plants that are just kind of having a hard time. This dude especially. So, yeah, because usually when their leaves curl up, so they don't have enough water, but this pot is very heavy, so there's water. It's been hot. It's always hot here this time of year, but it might just be that, with everything happening on Earth. The only thing exciting happening with the greens is that I grew some, oh my gosh, wasabi greens, and they are really good, and no joke, it's kind of like eating a mouthful of wasabi. So I was going to kind of pick everybody because that's, chard and arugula. And then there's not really enough. That's Mizuna. There's not really enough to do anything singly, so I thought I would just combine the whole thing and saute it up and see what happens. Make us spicy greens. But these tomatoes over here seem okay, mostly with the heat. This guy is definitely producing a lot of fruit. I can't pick anything yet. It's not quite ready to it hasn't entered the breaking stage. These squashes seem okay. I have so many zucchinis. Gosh, I'm going to make some zucchini muffins. And then take some zucchinis to the food bank. But yeah, so these tomatoes over here, it's like way, way, way hotter. They're fine. So I guess there's just some species that do not like the heat, which is, definitely, oh, what you got? What you got? She's acting like she got something. Okay. No, it's so pokey walking on them weeds. It's so pokey. So this little herb situation, they get, some shade from this this grapevine. It's not a grapevine. Whatever it is that's getting chowed on by those Japanese beetles. Hi, Sadie's in her chair. Okay, so what is this thing? I thought it was stinging nettle, but it's got these these barbs on it. I think this is like the second or third time I've asked. And you could kill somebody with this. This is not stinging nettle. This is like some kind of medieval, torture device nettle. Don't know where it came from. The leaves definitely are stinging because they have those hairs, and I've been on the wrong side of them, but yeah, she's like, I'm good. And then just a quick note on pots, since we're talking about things. Anything that you can grow a plant in can be a pot. So someone gave me some kind of old scabby, Tupperware, and I just poked some holes in it. I got a fork hot and poked some holes in the bottom of it, and it's little pots. Because, you wouldn't even use those Tupperwares for like giveaways, right? As like, people over and you send them home with food, but you can grow some scallions in them. Yeah, so these sunflowers are getting pretty tall. Another bee bath, so just rocks and a container. Yeah. These sunflowers are pretty tall. None of these pots ever grew their seeds. I think one might have. This looks like, what does that even say, borage? This might be borage right here. But the rest of it, it's like volunteer purslane, which is good. I put it in salads. This here, it's a little bit citrusy flavored, maybe. It's a bit tart or tangy or something. Allegedly has all these omegas growing like hell over my yard, so I'll put it in the salad. The marigolds are volunteers. Yeah. And then there's these bee baths over here. Yeah. And the bee that is deceased. And anything else happening over here that's interesting? So he's like, wait, I'm interesting. Hi. Oh, did the paw tuck again. Ooh, I noticed your paw tuck. That was really nice. Okay. I've never known a cat that hams for a camera like her. Okay. And that's a bee bath there. Strawberries that I think this whole thing I have 2. Looks like there's going to be 2. So, not the year to be a strawberry in Colorado. St. Francis says hello. Okay, so we covered everything, right? The possible hybrid pepper. My botanist people need to tell me if that's how it happens. I mean, it's supposed to be a cabbage, but it kind of looks like kale, so I don't know. The celery-ish, is doing a thing. Yeah, it's just hard. And then this is a bee bath, but it's more for like the skunks and the raccoons, so that they can actually dip their face in. Hi. I saw the little skunklets drinking out of this one last night. She's like, you just haven't had enough camera time? No? Okay. So yeah, I saw the little skunklets drinking out of that one last night. Hi. So it's about, Sadie says to ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. Huh? You'll most likely get it. Especially if your name's Sadie. All right. Yeah. Water the skunklets, pet the cat, and have a good day.